Alright, welcome back, and we're doing something different. We're starting technically with the Crisis Core section, but as you will see, since I got recently a new PC, I decided to do a bit of an upgrade. We're gonna have the story beats, starting with the initial FMV that's in Crisis Core, recorded from the PC version, but the fights will be actually still in the format where when I stream them. This in order to maintain, a level of challenge instead of, because otherwise my characters will be too overpowered if I play them completely, and as such, it will be not as fun because the fights will end in literally 1 second. Don't worry, after a certain point you will start to see catch up and the parts will be completely in a proper HD. But for the time being, as mentioned in the previous part, we're dropping for time being from the section of initial game, and we're cutting back into the what happened in the past of Zack Fair.
Now, don't worry, we probably will do an actual commentary of Crisis Core as a full game, but yeah.
Mark 932. The train is currently headed to Midgar Sector 8. All soldier operative will be inserted to neutralize the situation.
Not probably,
proceed as scheduled. Commence mission in 3, 2, 1, mark. Begin
I'm trying
mission.
to keep our audience in suspense, but yeah.
Operative is ready for insertion into my... Oh,
The train has been overrun by troops. They need to regain control of the train. Get serious.
No.
So yeah, this is Zack Fair, second-class soldier for the time being. Zack. And this is the mentor Angel. Zack, focus.
この列車に神羅の兵士は乗っていない。わかるな。手が込んでるね。
Stop that bloody show off. I said stop him, not let him show off. Alright, let's see how he gets that on. I thought he was gonna use his Buster Sword to somehow deflect the
He
missiles
doesn't
back
have
at
the
him.
Buster Sword.
I mean, to be fair, the dialogue goes by pretty quickly. Yes to you?
No, I can mention later.
Look at this cool
Train
action.
Mark 332 reroute to Sector Station 1 near Mako Reactor 1. Proceed to Mission Phase 2 and change surveillance rank. As in, you're demoted.
Get it? We're paralleling the stuff from the original game. It's clever.
Yeah.
I guess we are.
But why would soldiers be fighting soldiers? Well, you see, dear
To be
audience.
fair, Angel literally told him.
Funny, I got the rebirth version of the game through PlayStation Plus. I haven't played it yet, but it's there.
Phone call.
Zack speaking.
And it's the wrong number.
Making progress, Zack.
You know it.
With your Sora shoes and everything.
What's going on, NGL? Why are we fighting Shinra troops?
Because they didn't deliver my right lunch.
We do this every weekend.
They're Wutai troops in disguise. Now head to the plaza with the fountain. Your target's there. Also, Angel's portrait. Pay attention to what the Barcessor looks like behind him, because it's kind of a drawing faux pas that's not fitting with what the game actually established. With the remake of Crisis Core.
Towards Sector 8?
No, towards Sector 69. What do you think?
Affirmative, and be careful. You can cut loose, but use some discretion.
Alright, on we go.
Yes, Mom.
Hey, come on.
Yeah, see, he's not Cloud with black hair. He's a surfer dude.
He's Benjamin. So, again, similar to what the original Crisis Core version of Crisis Core does, in order to immerse you in the game, the first enemy you get to fight is a behemoth.
Of course, those things just happen to travel the streets at night.
Coochie coochie.
Hey there, kitty kitty.
Yeah, I cannot even say that because the behemoth is supposed to be an amalgamation of different animals, like, you know, like a lion, a fish, a ram. But yeah, I'm also showcasing a bit the speed up button because, you know, that really helps if you just wanna grind. Also, I can mention later about it, but actually I can mention now the musical Crisis Core. This section in the Never Crisis, you know, utilizes the game of Crisis Core 1 does not remix that. So we get to expose to what the remixes are. They were composed by Takeru Shimoto, you know, which, you know, has a, you know, a record for remixing, you know, stuff for Square. I'm not a super fan of the soundtrack Crisis Core. It's a lot of time it's very subdued, including stuff like the remix of Those Who Fight Fervor. Only a couple of the original themes are stuff that I actually like, but otherwise, I really don't get what the thought process was.
Since this game came out the same year as the World Ends Review in Japan, maybe he was just knackered.
Potentially. This was also around the same time he also did compose for the Steppers Dissidia. So...
Takeru, it was around this time that Takeru Shimoto really started his proper relationship. He never actually, I don't think he actually ever worked at Square Enix specifically. He's a freelancer.
He did. He became a freelancer in the late 2010s.
Okay, I can...
Because if you look at his credits in Twelly and the reunion version of Crisis Core, he's credited as Takeru Shimoto Thrill Inc., which is his production company.
Okay, here's my take. With how Crisis Core soundtrack goes back even, let's say going back as far as even the original track, I think I get what tone it was going for. Kind of like, how should I say, a bit of that teenage boy band vibe, even down to the song The Price of Freedom is High, which is a phenomenal final track for that game, but I think sets the tone for what that game is going for.
You're about not that what did you mention, but you're about to hear just a sample of what the music Crisis Core is.
Yeah. But yeah, that's always the vibe I got from Crisis Core's
This should
soundtrack.
be the place, but there's no one here. Since this is since Ever Crisis is meant to be more of a, you know, like the OG 7 stuff, I'm gonna go more for for the OG Zack Fair. Rick Gomez. And Gio, where'd you say the target was?
I mean, it's consistent with a run anyway, so...
It's a trap.
I said, be careful.
Huh?
Honda?
What is this careful term you speak of? Yeah, sure, but there's no one.
About
And then
that.
Zack gets shot.
Oh, better Dwibs.
Sephiroth literally teleports behind him. Listen to that amazing real bass. Oh my god.
Yeah, like I said.
Hero?
Oh, sorry, showing your back to the enemy. Overconfidence is your weakness.
Also,
Your faith in your sword is yours.
What is this?
Like you don't know.
Damn it, you're not the only hero.
They look so goofy here.
In the context of this game, this phrase will be very important, actually.
Yeah.
Focus sword and everything.
It's over.
I normally love this kind of music, but this is just so out of place.
Like I said, in terms with Zack being the protagonist, Crisis Core always felt like it had that teenage boy band vibe. Hell, they literally hired Gact for a character, so you get what I mean.
It sounds like the more generic WWE tracks you would hear in the 2000s.
Yeah, I remember hearing some of that actually.
Thanks, Angeal.
But notice he doesn't use the Buster Sword.
Training's over.
And
so yeah,
simulation
just for
terminated.
Context, the Shinra Corporation is the equivalent of a holodeck with a very functioning and little, possible programming of Sephiroth included.
Yeah, for a good reason.
In case you're wondering where that weird boss fight in Intergrade came from, it's this.
You serious? I was just getting warmed up, Angeal.
Yeah, you're about to get your butt warmed up.
Zack, embrace your dreams.
Yeah, and Jill likes to talk in riddles at times.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, what he said.
I'm speaking in riddles, Zack. That's kind of the point.
Are you from the planet Icarus?
No, Actually, the aliens in Kung Pao never had a planet. Never mind.
If you want to be a hero, you need to have dreams and honor.
And a plan.
Evil people can have dreams and quote unquote honor too,
So if you can become a hero, kid, that means you just didn't dream enough.
Of course.
And yes, the hologram really did break his sword too.
Again, it's this.
Wait, how does that work?
It's in character for Shinra, I guess, to have an hologram that's dangerous.
No, okay. To be fair,
also, Zack, you came.
Okay, to be fair,
NGO, not for nothing, NGO. I love you, but not in that way. Go on.
Okay, to be fair, there are programs like Red Dwarf that do have hard holograms, if you know what I mean.
I understand this, but if the concept in general is so weird to me. What did you want to talk about?
Shinra.
In for another lecture.
Shinra, do we want to maybe...
It's in character for Shinra.
Shinra, do we want to put money into maybe bettering the lives of people in Midgar? Nah. Beef up the budget of our holograms so that they can literally kill our soldiers.
Can you blame me? This was my big chance to get promoted to first.
Don't tell Zack, but that
Zack
position will be meaningless in the future.
Don't be so upset. I said it before and I'll say it again. You're not ready. I do like this film, however. It's technically original, but it's actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's like... My take is that I overall like Crisis Core soundtrack, but it is a noticeable departure from the format of VII.
Judgment and aptitude as a soldier. Those are just a few things you need to work on.
I knew I was gonna get a lecture.
You're still the student.
They kept the Nomura oversized shoes.
Yeah, like I said, them Sora shoes.
If you have time to sulk, you have time to practice. Channel that anger into something productive.
Beating Sephiroth.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
So you want me to fight? Okay, fine.
Well, you gotta fight further.
Alright, Angio, I'll show you that I have what it takes to become the best. I'm sure, even if death comes my way, I'll just enter into a different timeline and survive somehow.
Checks future games about that.
No, like I said, don't worry, I will defy fate and enter into a different timeline where I survive. You're on. Get ready to pick your jaw up off the floor.
Okay.
Wait, a first commenter on YouTube?
It's way too early for me to say that much, but judging Zack as a character is a bit tough for me because there's not too much of an easy answer in either way. Unlike other characters like Sora, is not the super duper most optimistic guy to the point of numbness, but at the same time, he's still working willingly for a company like Shinra, and for the record, as the game itself will actually showcase, also Crisis Core will showcase, Zack is pretty aware of what they do. But there's this kind of disconnect on how jovial he is, despite the fact that he's doing, kind of horrible things.
My take is that it's a sunk cost fallacy thing. Like, okay, we've seen from Cloud's perspective that as kids, everyone wants to join Soldier and be like the great superhero Sephiroth. So my guess is like, well, when he first got into Shinra, he didn't know, but by the time he did know, he's come so far that getting out would really just be a detriment.
That's why I said it's not that easy, because like I said, it's not even a case where he's super peppy. He will have moments of of anger, fear, and stuff like that. But you will get to understand probably what I mean as the story goes on. But
well, I recently went through Crisis Core Reunion, so I have that fresh in my mind. Like, see, okay, the way here's the thing about like Jova said, Shira does a good job gaslighting everybody in Midgard to how awesome and good they are. So I can see Zack taking Shira at their word that what they're doing is for a greater good. But then, of course, as we know from Crisis Core, he eventually realizes that that's not the case. I personally think the overall arc is sound enough. Like, again, he was gaslighted into thinking that he was doing the right thing, even though he clearly wasn't. I think it works fine enough, honestly.
Also, I like how that sword reminds me of Jazz's sword from Eternal Sonata.
I try to juggle to showcase a bit of the equipment.
How'd you like that, Apples?
Well,
no, Zack, you're supposed to be like Knack and say, how do you like me now?
How you like me now, NGL?
Not bad. I say you would have just barely passed.
Just barely? Are you blind? I aced that.
Nope, sorry, it wasn't a no damage run.
I wouldn't go that far, but you do have one important thing that's needed to become a first.
Audacity.
A character?
Close, actually.
It's a bit too early.
I do? What's that?
A character. Come on, man, it's a bit hard. It's really just started.
First aren't like other soldiers. You don't only have to be skilled, but also to harness your unique strength when it matters.
Now, if you were to say take a dip in some Mako pool energy, that might help.
The determination to fight on even in the face of adversity, never losing your hope and spirit. This way, you already surpass all the first.
Alright, that's not too bad, I guess.
I love how so many games have just ruined words and phrases forever.
The more, Shiro, that's just how the world works. The more time goes on, the more things get ruined. That's just the course of life.
I'm doing my best. Come on, cheer up, or else you'll lose your one and only strength.
That felt
If
like
you're wondering, these particular sections are actually taken mostly out of the side material of the main game. They found a neat way to integrate stuff that normally is just a mail that you receive and leads into a fight.
Nifty.
Yeah, that's what I said. Hey, come on. Everybody's doing the Benjamin pose from Mystic Quest. Alright, Jova, you'll be this guy that's about to show up. Because why not?
Alright, and that's my training quota for today.
Looking good, Zack. Looking cool, Joker!
Hey, Kunze. Is it Kunsel?
Kunsel.
Here to train.
This is just basically a Zack friend in the soldier.
Well, sort
He
of.
doesn't even get a portrait.
But you'll be doing the fighting, not me.
Kunsel is a weird case. He has a minor relevance, but not enough.
I'm guessing novel character.
Yeah.
You need to prepare for the next big test. Besides, I'll give you something if you win.
If you forgot, Remake Part 1 actually references him when a soldier recognizes Cloud in the Shinra building.
A reward, huh? Sure, why not? Anything for you.
That is kind of the deal with novel exclusive characters and stuff, but yeah. How I feel about Zack as a character as a whole. I like him. You know, he's just a guy who, like Cloud, wants to do the right thing, albeit sometimes has to do some not-so-great stuff. My issue with him is, well, kind of an issue I had with the 7 compilation as a whole, and how, you know, of course, in the original 7 game, he was a character, had a role to play, that was it. The 7 compilation, you know, kind of like how they warped some of the characters, like suddenly Aerith was all pure and demure, and Sephiroth always spoke so eloquently and never casually, which was not the case. Yeah, the 7 compilation, I feel, also, yeah, wrecked and damaged version of Airbuster, the prototype.
So to speak.
My issue they had with Zack was, I feel like they really tried to retcon Zack as much bigger than he actually was. And by that I mean, he was suddenly the real deal hero that Cloud was only a pale imitation of, and, like, apparently Zack was always the real hero, and Cloud was just someone lucky came about here.
Mind you, with the story with the story that the game has, Crisis Core also creates a bunch of minor plot holes that it makes it weird that the first game did not acknowledge in the slightest. The remake tries to be has been so far, trying to be relatively cheeky in acknowledging that, but even then it's still a bit of an awkward terrain to walk into.
Well, technically, that's kind of the idea that Cloud is a dork, and that Zack is the more proper jock type of...
Oh, that's not my issue. My issue is more so how they try to act like, oh, Zack was always the real hero, whereas Cloud could never be without copying off of him, which I feel honestly defeats the purpose of 7.
Even the extended cut of Undead Children added on to that.
Yeah, and I never really liked that. Like, Zack was cool and fine.
Sure.
We didn't need to turn him into the super duper ace.
Go on, Drover.
Good effort, Zack. Thanks to you, I've managed to come up with a whole new idea for the next test. With it, you'll pass with flying colors. I'll show it to you later, okay? I guess that'll be the reward he gives.
Well, not just that.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver, Kunzel.
Don't mention it. You do the fighting, I collect the intel. We benefit from each other's skills.
I guess so.
And that's how it'll be for the rest of our lives. That's the trick to survival on the battlefield. Oh, right. I almost forgot. I promised you something for your help. Yep. Here. It's the contact info for the new receptionist. You like her, right?
Definitely from a game.
Kunzel! Bro! I can't believe you came in. I can't prove for me.
Definitely from a game made in the mid 2000s.
How did you know that? I didn't say anything.
It was written
Especially
all over
because
your
of for the
face.
teenage target audience, like, oh bro, the chicks gave me your not a number.
Yeah, like I said, Crisis Core definitely feels like it's going for that teenage boy band vibe. For better or for worse.
A guy who collects intel. Right.
You're not lying. Alright, the first session of fighting.
Phew. I'm beat. Time for a break. I once caught a fish that was this big.
Yeah.
Huh? Wonder who that is.
Is his
yeah.
dog?
The receptionist. That's right. I promised we'd meet up.
And who is this lovely receptionist for whom
Lady
Zack's
not
heart
appearing in this
beats?
title.
Yeah.
There haven't been any missions lately. I should be able to sneak out for a few hours.
No joke to you, I've seen some people completely new to Ever Crisis who thought that the receptionist was Aerith, given you know what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the receptionist set Aerith?
No, I gotta make sure to keep my one and only strength.
She forgot timeline-wise, now Aerith is hiding in the slums from Shinra. Sang actually knows about the location, but he's busy covering her up.
With it, I'm gonna become a soldier first class. Can't let a little training wear me out.
Soldier first class, is that like X-Men first class, the movie?
Alright, next. So one more fight.
Mhm.
All right, let's switch on the holodeck.
It's funny because this thing can go pretty far.
It's basically actually also how it goes in Crisis Core for the side mission. You receive, a mail on the phone, which is associated with a combat mission that starts, in the battle simulator. Thankfully, we're spared from the announcer constantly saying, entering combat, combat resolved, conflict resolved. I know that the recent remake of Crisis Core tones that down, thankfully. Because in the original release it was kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could find another baby, but go on.
The only real issue I have, I haven't finished the game recently. Like, overall, it is the definitive way of playing Crisis Core. The only real thing I think is superior is some of the voices. Like, I really miss George Newborn and
Rick Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the voices the new voices are actually fine. I mean, Brianna White as always is of course the definitive Aerith. Like no question about that.
I'm not
so
too bugged by that because Aerith was hurting for a consistent voice actress for a while.
Oh no! Aerith, like Brianna White is the definitive Aerith. So having her now being Crisis Core can only be a plus. That's not even debatable.
It just okay. Granted,
the sad part is that Mina Suvari it's not necessarily a terrible actress. I just don't understand what happened with her voice acting. I haven't chosen in Season 1 2, to be honest.
this extends back to the remake, but I just never got the logic of replacing George Newborn and Rick Gomez. Like, okay, maybe Rick Gomez was... Actually, is Rick Gomez still working in the industry?
I think so.
Again,
remember, the voice actors were only replaced for the remake series. On the Cydia, it's still the same actors from before.
Keep in mind, the thought process, remember, for the remake was, in terms of recasting, it was essentially a complete overall. It was a case of, no one gets an exception, everyone gets recast no matter what.
Which I feel was kind of throwing out the baby with the bathwater. And you know what? I get it.
Also, having the case of minor celebrity, because remember, Zack's new voice actor is another TV actor rather than a voice actor.
Ugh, and I'm sorry, but he pales in comparison to
TV
Rick
actors?
Gomez.
No, for example, Vincent is Matthew Mercer. Anyway, leaves your this character. I'll mention after the part's over.
I mean, Matthew Mercer is a good pick, so I'm not too bothered by that.
Is he the one who Angeal, whoever, I hate him anyway.
Ignis, why did you
I
dye
see
your
he's
hair
working hard.
blonde?
It's a play on the word angel for reasons that won't become clear later.
Because subtlety be damned.
Subtlety been damned.
Subtlety in Final Fantasy VII.
Spirited and eager, not like any first I've seen. Proficient in battle as well.
But like I said, this guy looks like he's ready to come up with a new recipe.
To be fair, he resembles
I've come up with a new recipe.
Ignis has more stylized there.
Subtlety is nice, but a lot of the times it's for cowards.
Director Zard, regarding my recommendation for the next first promotion.
By the way, Andrew, why do people keep coming up to me and saying I've come up with a new recipe? I don't get it. Anyway, have you made a decision?
Yeah, this is Director Lazard, basically the person in charge of the soldier program for now. Yes, there's someone who may be able to help us overcome this...
ever crisis.
Crisis, TM.
This ever crisis trademark.
You know, not for nothing, he's called Lazard, and given the truth behind soldiers...
Your timing is impeccable. Sorry. I was hoping to hear more about your candidates.
Of course. And we will learn more about that, later, obviously. The next part,
candidate I gave up.
The next part, we'll see Zack's first major mission on the field, as we do something that on the original game only hinted at, and we will witness about the end of a war against Wutai, believe it or not.
Interesting.
And we'll see how that entails. So see you for that.
See ya.
Ta-ta.
Ta-da.